Hey everyone, Rack here. Welcome to, I believe, the second episode of my Minecraft Beta 1.7.3 Let's Play. And I say, I think, because I recorded a whole nother episode before this, but I wasn't happy with it because it was literally just mining out this whole hilly area here that you can see is completely flat, and there wasn't a lot of entertaining parts in it, so I kind of just scrapped it. But we'll get to this later. You can kind of see some other stuff that I don't want you to see quite yet. But the main thing for this episode is I finished Starter House. You can see it here. I'm very happy with how it turned out and how it went from just a kind of boring plank filled box to something with some texture and different colors and stuff. So I'll talk about that here. For the exterior, I added windows and trapdoors for shutters and for some extra texture, a little beam of planks, and most notably I added a little balcony here where I can fish. And also I used sand for a majority of the walls here to give it some nice color and contrast. If this was in modern, I would probably have used birch planks, but since that doesn't exist in this version, I use sand. I kind of got the idea from looking at the r/golden age Minecraft subreddit, and I thought it was kind of a cool idea, so I used that here. I kind of like the idea of using blocks for not how you might think they would be used, like the sand for walls. I think at some point in the future I'd like to make a big dirt house. I remember seeing one in like a Minecraft book, like how to build book, and it was made mostly completely out of dirt, and I thought it would be pretty cool to kind of do that eventually in this world. But let's actually start looking on the inside now, which is another big improvement. But before we do that, my first ever piece of redstone that I didn't use by following a tutorial, a little doorbell. I'm actually pretty proud of it for how simple it is. Beta redstone is really weird because you have to have the redstone actually connect and lead into the parts that you want it to go. So it took a little bit of a while to figure out, but I'm pretty happy with it, to be quite honest. So we have this little front door step here that's kind of covered from the elements, which is pretty nice. Another little thing, there's some texture in the floor here, and different sandstone and sand kind of mixed together to add to that texture, and a little bit of sand going onto the little wood here. But let's go inside. First thing you see is a little kitchen and cabinets, a little sink here, nice window, stove and stovetop, and a nice big cake. Here we have a little vent for the stove, an oven, a little painting, bookcase, dinner table using a piston, and stairs with signs. And I think the really thing that's neat about early Minecraft, and even that led into modern Minecraft, is using signs and stuff like smaller, different kind of stuff for added detail to kind of give the impression of something. So you can see that these stairs with these signs are actually chairs with armrests, and you can see that a lot in interior builds, even in modern, and it's really cool how you can get creative with this stuff. Got a little lamp here. I also got a jukebox. I did some mining off camera and got some diamonds and stuff, so I made a jukebox, even though I don't have any music discs yet. And out here, nice view of flat nothing. The balcony, very cool. Another set of chairs and tables. And here, I can just sit with my buddy and do some fishing. Maybe. Maybe not at night. I don't know. Alright. Whatever. Anyways. If you go downstairs, we have this main storage room. Some sugar cane. Mostly for decoration. I need to get this guy out of here, but he's kind of stuck right now. But we have a bunch of different storage. A nice ladder here, so I can get up here. But also just for decoration, because I can reach it from down here. Been doing a lot of grinding. As you can see from out there, that whole place is flattened, so I've gotten a lot of dirt. And this is even like half of it. A lot of it is still out over there. Crafting table and furnaces in the ground here for some extra room. And then if we go down one more level, we have my bedroom on the right. It's kind of a depressing little room. It's very dark and cold with all the cobble and stuff, and just one little painting. I think that's better. I need to replace that white wool there, but you can see I kind of changed the palette down in this little basement area, because up here it's a lot lighter with the sand and the planks and the normal oak logs, but if you go down it switches to spruce and cobble. I kind of like this because it's a lower level, so I think it kind of makes sense that it would be darker. But this also leads to the start of my mine. You can just fall down here into the water. And it's not much of a start, but this is where I found my first diamonds and cave. What I would like to do is, instead of just strip mining, I'd like to make a whole kind of like, I don't know if backrooms-esque is kind of the right description, but just a massive expanse of like a whole chunk. Like everything would be gone except for the roof and the floor. There would be no walls really, and it just goes on endlessly. And I think that would be pretty cool. Pretty cool look. And then it would also be a good way for different mining areas to be connected to each other. I think what I would like to do with this world is have a different building for everything. So I have this starter house, but I also like a building just for the nether portal, a different building just for the mines, a different building for like food and stuff, different buildings for different farms. I think that would be really kind of let me get creative with the different build styles that I can do, while also having them have a reason to exist. So that's the whole of the house and the interior pretty much. But if we go up this little path here, I really like the texturing here in the path that leads up. I think it's really a nice look. If we go up here to this big tree, we have a little outlook that will look up onto the castle that we build eventually. And a nice little picnic table, so you can eat up here as well. I think it's a nice little cozy, kind of cute kind of area. A really big tree that spawned here that gives a nice kind of shade. And I made it a little bit thicker in the trunk here, just to give it some balance. I think it really looks really cool. So I really like how this area and the whole starter house on this island really worked out. I think it works really well, and especially with the roof kind of flowing with the direction and angle of the naturally spawning terrain. I think it's really nice and cozy. But you can see here a little bridge that goes over to this little shack over here. I like how this bridge turned out, even though it's like really simple too. These pillars go all the way down to the bottom of the seabed, riverbed. But if we go over here, this is where I put my nether portal for the time being. I think it's kind of a cool little hut. I played a lot with the texturing in the floor, and then the building here. You can see the different gravel, cobble, and stone here, with mixed into the sandstone and sand. Nether portal is really loud, but and then the kind of weathering of the different wood here kind of makes it look wetter on the bottom because it's right next to the beach. And then the cobble and stone pattern kind of continues onto the roof here, as you can see. So I think this turned out real well for how small and tiny it is. There's some different texturing in the dirt here with the wool as well. But I've gone glowstone already, as you can tell from the house by going to the nether. I haven't built anything in the nether quite yet. I'm not really sure what I should build in the nether, if anything at all, actually. I'd like to build something in here, something kind of dark and sinister to fit the vibe, but I'm not quite sure yet. I don't have any ideas. If you have any ideas, though, feel free to recommend me any build ideas just in general, and maybe I'll build it, because I don't have a lot of ideas right now, and I'd like to keep building once I'm done with the plans that I do have. So that's it for that I built in this main area so far, really. For the most part, I've just been flattening this whole area over here, and that's a majority of the work I've done. Another thing real quick actually is I've gotten a skin using a texture pack, which is pretty cool. This is a skin I use in modern. It's a bit different though, because the skin conversion from modern to beta is a bit different, so there's some things I probably have to fix on here. Like, you can see the paw pads are backwards, but I'll fix that. I also don't have I usually have a tail on the skin, but I don't on this one. But I'm really happy that I figured out how to actually make a texture pack and get my skin in here, because in beta you can't normally usually get a skin just through the launcher or whatever. So I'm really happy with this. I really like how I made this skin as well. I think it turned out really well. It was kind of hard to figure out at first with the different ears and the muzzle, because they kind of all blended together with the mask. But I really like it. I really like it. So yeah, like, that's really it for what I've actually built. Just this little this little area. I think it's really cool. I think it turned out really well, especially working with the terrain and improvising. I'm really happy with that. I think it really flows together well. But beyond that, let's go ahead and take a look over here at what I'm starting on the castle. So I flattened this whole area. I probably flattened a little bit more on this side than I probably should have. But I'm starting the framework here with wool. Got a little cactus farm because I'm going to be needing green wool for some of the texturing that I plan to do. But while flattening out this whole area as well, over here I found a dungeon. And I think dungeons are like one of the coolest structures, even in modern. They're so simple, but yet so cool and useful, because you get spawners, obviously, and so you can get a little farm going if you want, and get a lot of XP in modern. But in beta, it's really useful for feathers and just zombies if you feel like you want to kill something. And I think they're just really cool for the loot as well, and also for all the mossy cobble that you get. Because in beta, you can't craft mossy cobble as far as I'm aware. You can only get it from mob spawners. So I'm going to have to do a lot of finding mob spawners eventually, because for the castle I'll need a lot of mossy cobble, and I've only found 2 so far. So I don't have a lot, so I'm gonna have to do some exploring at some point. But beyond that, we have a nice little beach here. Whoa, okay, whoa, lag. I love that. But so the castle will lead out onto the beach and into the water. I plan to have like the castle connect down here to a lighthouse and a dock, and I think that's a really cool idea. I'm really excited to kind of see how that will look, and I think that'd be pretty cool, honestly. So the castle is going to be kind of big, honestly. It's more of a fort, really, because the main area, there's not going to be a lot of different rooms, maybe like a dungeon or something, because there's another dungeon over there that leads right to this castle pretty well. So I'll probably have a dungeon, a lot of storage, stuff like that, but maybe I probably won't live in it. I'll probably keep living in that starter house for a good while, and this will just be kind of a big fort and storage kind of place. But that's my plan for what this will be. I kind of want this first level to be really, I kind of want the whole interior to be really open and kind of majestic looking, so there won't really be a lot of different floors or levels. The most elevation you'll get is probably this first and second floor here for the outside and the inside, so you can look down and stuff, but for the most part it's just going to be a giant room, and then maybe some basements and stuff. But I got this idea to build the castle and have this giant room from a YouTuber that also does beta stuff, called The Last Block, and I'll leave his channel in the description. He does some pretty cool stuff and inspired me to really actually get back into beta and build this castle and just start playing Minecraft again, you know. But so there's kind of a chest monster going on here. I got a lot of clay. I'm not really sure if I'll be using clay for the castle. You can see here I kind of started it with the clay here and the gray wool, but it's kind of too light and it doesn't really blend well. So I think I'll just keep it to the stone, the cobble, and the moss kind of look on this side here, and not go with the lighter look on this little guy here. I just think it's too much of a distraction and it doesn't blend well together. Texturing is a real challenge in beta, and blending as well, because there's not as many blocks as you have in modern to really play with and experiment with. You're really restricted, and you have to get creative with the stuff you build in the beta. So I think so far, I think this will be the style that I go with for the castle. You can see here there's a lot of moss and of the cobble, and it's really ruined here at the bottom, but as you go up it gets cleaner and smoother, and I really like that look. It kind of tells a story, kind of shows the weathering that kind of has taken place on the build. So I think I'll go with this look. Another interesting thing about beta is that you can see there, you need logs. You need logs to place down leaves, because if you don't have any logs around, they'll just despawn and wither away. So that's kind of interesting to have learned and to start dealing with. Let me go get this wool over here real quick, because I need a lot of wool just for the framework and just in general for the moss kind of look and stuff, but also brown wool for some texturing in the dirt once I get over to that part eventually, but that's my plans. And we'll have a look at the chest monster. You can see a lot of the cobblestone and dirt that I've gathered. A lot of this dirt has gone into flattening this area because there's a lot of stone just here, and a lot of it was covered by water, so I had to cover the water up, especially over here. You can see some of the water still remaining over on that side. So it's been a real grind. Minecraft's all about mining, so you do that a lot, and you can see that. If you compare from the last episode, you can see just how much I've terraformed. It's pretty crazy. But it's taken a long time, but I'm really excited now that that's all done for the most part, and I can start building the actual castle, and I'm really excited to start that. And I hope you guys are too, to see the progress that I've made, and to see how it turns out. I'm really excited to start. So really that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little update and looking at my house. Hopefully I'd like to kind of, I guess, inspire you guys to start building and thinking differently with the blocks that you're using, especially with the sand, and maybe think about texturing and stuff more with the sand and the sandstone and the different types of cobble and stone that I'm using on the castle, and over there on the little nether hut. I think even if you build basic, and I don't want to say basic, that's kind of rude, even if you build without all the texture and the color and the contrast and all these different elements of art and principles, and even if you don't use that in your builds, simple stuff can still look really great. Even before I added all this different stuff to this house, I was still really happy with it, the shape and stuff, and the main idea of it, even though it was just planks mostly, and the cobble. Really kind of rudimentary. Even stuff like that, especially in beta, looks really great, and it felt, I'm sorry, I can't talk. It fits with the style really well. Everything just kind of fits together. There's not all these vast different build styles that you can go for, that is accessible in modern. Because modern, there's all these different kinds of blocks, and there's this really set expectation to build something great. And with beta, it's a lot simpler. You don't really have to worry about that kind of stuff because you have a limited palette, limited blocks to work with, and everything just kind of works together no matter what you build. You can build in a medieval style, or even a kind of rustic style, or something more modern, and they all somehow just work together really well. And I think that's the real charm about building in beta specifically, and it's really cool. But with all that said, if you guys have any ideas for stuff that you want me to build, feel free to recommend me some stuff, because all I have really planned is this castle and another little project that I'll get to sometime. But beyond that, I don't really have any ideas, so give me some. I'd like to keep building, keep grinding, all that good stuff. And with all that said, if you enjoyed, please subscribe if you want more. Thanks for watching.